Really, it was paladin.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Weekend's Last Beer. We apologize we went on last week. We all had prior commitments. I was coming back from South Carolina, and I couldn't make it. So I apologize for being on. So we're going to come back and make the show a little longer tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I was at a wedding. Shout out to Izzy and Max. Fantastic wedding. But I was in Minnesota, so I could not sadly make last week's pod. So it would have been a one-man show with Frankie Boy. And I don't think you want to hear Frank ramble on for an hour.
No, you do not.
So with that being said, sit back, crack your beer open. We got a lot to cover tonight. We got the Travelers and Rocket Classic recap. Should Keegan Bradley be a play-in captain for the Ryder Cup this year? What position would you prefer to be in a scramble? And your thoughts about the honors? Do you respect the honors? And then final but not least, what age is too young to get your kid involved in sports? So get into that. We can talk about the Rocket Classic that just ended today. It was a great ending to a long day. We had 3 guys in the playoff round. We had a total of 5 playoff holes, and Aldrich, I can't pronounce his last name.
Say it. Go on, no, wait, keep going.
Potgeider, I think that's how you say it.
You butchered the fuck out of that. Okay.
No, but he's a 20-year-old dude who won for the first time on the tour. So it was a crazy final day on the Rocket Classic. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I loved it. I loved every second of it. I like when there's playoffs. I like when there's, some drama, especially with the 2 guys that were last. They never won one. It's pretty nice to see someone else other than Scheffler in that leaderboard. If we saw Scheffler there, I feel like it would have been like, oh, we know who's winning this one, But this, it's like, all right, these 2 guys don't have a PGA win. And there's a lot on the line, too. There's the PGA Championship, the Players, and a Masters invitation on the line there, too. So I think that's another addition to that, there's money and, winning, but also being invited to the Masters is that's every golfer's dream. And then just being invited to the other 2 is just that's our Super Bowl, boys. And I don't care what anybody else says. Bill?
That was a pretty incredible day. I mean, especially for your boy there. Sad Jake Knapp shot the course record. He couldn't win, but I am happy for my man there. And
I was hoping for him.
I was too, man. He really killed it with the 61 shooting the course record. But it's really a nice tournament. For the guys there. I mean, it's not a signature event or anything like that, but it was a really nice finish. I didn't get to watch too much of it today. I was out doing some things, playing a little bit of golf. But I watched more of the Travelers, which we'll get into soon. But it sounds like the Rocket was a blast. And shout out to my buddy Jake. Shooting a 61 on the course there. That was incredible.
Yeah, that's always so fun when you see someone shoot that low and is on target, just being a sniper, basically throwing darts everywhere. And it's just like he made the game look so flawless. It was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for especially being 20 years old, the Aldrich Poldrick, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It was a crazy ending to. I think that was the first time since there was 3 people in the playoffs. So I was glad to be able to watch the whole thing unwrap. So it was awesome seeing that. Let's talk about, what do you think about the Travelers? How do you think the outcome of that is?
Now let me start out by saying I watched every second of this goddamn tournament.
So jealous of that, by the way.
My fiance Caitlin, she was in the wedding that I attended, so I don't know if anyone knows too much about what females do during a wedding when they're in it, but they're out all goddamn day.
I'm not going on a rant again, trust me.
But yeah, your boy here, he wasn't allowed to bring his golf clubs, which I mean, fair. I mean, I was kind of mad, but fair. But I watched every second of that goddamn tournament. Keegan Bradley's a baller, and that motherfucker, he should be a playing captain. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna mic drop it at that. Boom. You heard that, Kanye?
Well, my main question is, who would be the captain then? I see a lot of things going Tiger. Yeah, of course he needs to play, but can he be? Is there ever been a playing captain? Was that Tiger, right? A couple of years ago?
I think the only person to ever be a playing captain was Tiger. And yes, you can be a playing captain in the Ryder Cup, but it's kind of narcissistic.
Yeah, it is.
If that's the right way to say it. But Keegan is a fucking baller, and I'm gonna curse, so excuse my French, but the man is a fucking baller.
Yeah.
He is him. He's Himothy.
But he's not 2000s Tiger, though, Dylan.
No, obviously. But the thing is, Frank, no one will ever be Tiger. That's the thing.
That's the thing. That's why I think Tiger should only be the only one. No. It wasn't narcissist for Tiger to do it because it was Tiger. It's like saying MJ should be the captain of the USA team every single time until that man retires, and everybody around the world agreed on that.
No, let me interrupt. It was not Tiger Woods. The last play-in coach or play-in captain was Jack Nicklaus back in.
That's right. It was Nicklaus. Tiger never was a playing captain. No. You're right.
And I don't think Tiger.
That's still another GOAT.
Tiger was never a captain, to be honest.
Right. No, he was a captain. He was a captain.
I think he was.
He was in 2018. No, he definitely was.
He was an assistant captain. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, he was assistant captain. That's right. You're right.
Then he has to be captain.
Yeah, I mean, I think Keegan Bradley. I love that dude. He's one of my favorite golfers. And he really
full swing too.
Yeah, exactly. And he loves the Ryder Cup. I mean, that is what he kind of lives for every year. He was saying, like, I would have been like a bag boy if I was involved in the Ryder Cup. Like, that's how passionate he is about the Ryder Cup. I know there's a lot for him to take under, to focus on while he's being the captain and also playing in the tournament. I personally think he deserved it. He got shafted last year or 2 years ago in the Ryder Cup. He should have been in it.
Fuck Zach Johnson. Just putting that out
Johnson
there.
Really,
fuck Zach Johnson. Piece of shit.
Yeah, he really kind of shafted. He shafted Keegan Bradley for sure. But I personally think it would be worth Keegan Bradley being a playing captain. I think he is a top 6 golfer or top 10 golfer on the tour right now, and he has shown that. And time in and time again, he has been, top 10 in the leaderboard. So I think he's one of the better golfers, and I think he deserves to be the playing captain this Ryder Cup.
I have to agree. I mean, Keegan has shown that he is balling out this year. He is on top of his game, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be. I mean, my whole thing would be, tell me who you would rather. So out of 8 players, who would you rather be?
I think I thought it was 6. Oh, no, there is 8, right? It is 8.
Yes. Yeah. Who would you rather have in that? So even if he is the last person in, who would you rather have in than Keegan Bradley?
So I'm looking at something right now. The automatic qualifiers.
The automatic qualifiers. I have that on my phone also. Let me pull that up real quick, and I'll look at it.
Scheffler, Xander, JJ Spawn, and Russell, Bryson DeChambeau, and Justin Thomas.
JT.
Now you have Morikawa, Griffin. I like Griffin on there. I do like Griffin. He's been staying on like the top 5 this whole time. I think you need to keep them. I want Keegan. I would take Keegan over Colin right now.
I would take Keegan over Justin Thomas too, and I love Justin Thomas. But the thing
he's automatic. Justin already made it.
Yeah. But the thing is, Keegan, at this point in his career, Keegan is way more consistent than Justin Thomas. I mean, Justin Thomas, yes, he'll have a great round, and he showed that at the Travelers. I think he started the first 2 days as the leader.
He was in the lead, right?
Yes, but the problem is he didn't stay there.
Yeah.
Keegan is the one who rose up and won that tournament. And that's honestly the thing that matters is clutchness. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
But the moral of the question is who's going to be the captain. Like if you take Keegan out of the captain situation, if you take Keegan out of the captain situation, okay, do you just throw Tiger in there?
No, so there's no replacing him as captain. If he plays, he's a playing captain. There's no replacing him as captain. He's been named the captain.
Or can you?
No, whether he plays or not, he's still the captain. There's no replacing him.
You need an assistant captain then.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be an assistant captain regardless. There's assistant captain regardless, but there's no replacing him as captain. He's been named the captain. Yeah. Whether he plays or not, he's still the captain.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like he in his interview actually after the Travelers, he mentioned that he spends so many hours working on who he's going to play, who he's going to have for his 12 players, and he's put a lot of time and effort into this. And I think he has had that balance where, playing in tournaments and also focusing on the Ryder Cup. I think he already has his team made. We don't just know who's on the team quite yet. But yeah, I mean, the only thing he needs to do is just which 2 players he wants to match up with the European team. I mean, that's really it. And that will come in time. I mean,
here's the thing. I looked this up. Bryson and Colin publicly endorsed Bradley to play.
Which, I mean, I agree with them because Keegan Bradley is a baller. I'm not even going to lie. No matter what, for how many years he's been on tour, Keegan Bradley has always been a baller. Whether he's won these major, I can't remember if he's ever won a major or not, but he's always been a baller. He's had a lot of top 10s. He's had a lot of wins. And the man just bleeds America. I mean, he really is. It comes down to a nationality thing, and the man is Captain America.
Yeah, I really want Keegan to play, but I wouldn't mind seeing how the summer just goes out and just see how everybody plays, because I think 2 years ago, your most hated person, Dylan, made up his mind before even the summer started. So that's why I think I like Keegan sort of just sitting back and not saying anything right now. I think this is a big thing right now with the PGA and everybody talking about it and everything. But I like how Keegan's just sitting back and going, whoever's the best will play on there. I think that's a really smart move by him. I don't think he has it all lined up yet, but I think he's being really smart about this and keeping it really close to his chest.
Oh, I agree. I mean, obviously, it's still early. I mean, Bethpage isn't until what, September? The Ryder Cup?
Yeah.
So till September. Let it ride till August.
Black's been closed since early June. They closed it. No one's allowed to play until then. Until probably after. They probably won't let you play for another month after either. So yeah. I looked it up, guys. I tried to figure out when we can start playing that course.
No, and honestly, it didn't even cross my mind when we were talking about it a couple weeks ago.
And we were like, yo, let's just play in September. Yeah.
I was like, sitting there and I was like, I don't know.
I'll call Keegan right now.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought the Ryder Cup wasn't until next year, but I was having a brain fart until I'm talking to my one buddy, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, we want to play Bethpage this year. He's like, oh, before or after the Ryder Cup? And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, it's not till next year. He's like, no, it's this year. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Philly Golf Instagram, and we were talking about doing Bethpage, and he like sort of joked with me. He was like, "Oh, so when you playing?" I was like, "Probably September, October." He's like, "That's going to be tough." And then I was like, "Oh shit, I know exactly what why you said that." I was like, "I didn't even think of that." He goes, "Everybody's going to probably try to play right after because they want to play, those greens and everything like that." And truthfully, I don't want to play those greens when the pros are playing.
Oh, no.
We've already played Rock Manor, and I mean those greens are probably the fastest greens we'll ever play.
Yeah.
In the sense of like a public course.
Yeah.
So no, I don't want to play anything faster than that because I already hate my life playing that course, and I'm a member there. So let's not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the general consensus right now on this podcast is we think Keegan Bradley should be a playing captain. I think he has deserved the right or earned the right to be in that position. Yeah, he's done a lot of planning out to get to here, and I think it's definitely a thought to think about for come up in September.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah. All right, go on to the next, boys.
So this is just kind of like a random topic that I thought of. So you know how we were talking before we hopped on the podcast about scramble format. We should be a scramble. We should do videos, scramble with people, and play it that way. In your perfect world, if you had a team of 4 and you're playing a scramble format, what position do you prefer to be in, and why? Do you prefer the first one teeing off, the last one to tee off, the second to tee off, or the third to tee off?
I like when I drive the ball pretty far, but I'm not trying to blow myself up like that. But oh my god, why did I say that?
Here you are. Go ahead. Go ahead, Frank. Tell us how good you are, Dad.
But I like going last because if we're in the fairway, then I could go for the hero shot. But if I go first, I'm definitely like maybe even taking a 3-wood out and trying to like just get it on the fairway as quickly. You want the guy that could really just know how to like place a ball first. Last guy could bombs away a ball and just have fun with it. I sort of do think scrambles do screw up your game a little bit when you're playing like that because then you're not playing conservative. You're just going all out on it, especially when you're playing like the last guy because you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, especially with putting. I feel like you're watching the line, but you're like, all right, I can't leave it short though. So there's a lot of times with scramble, you have to like sort of focus and watch everybody else's shot. When you're the first guy, you're like, all right, I'm going to tell everybody what I'm doing and showing them where I'm shooting it. And then please everybody see where the ball goes kind of situation, especially with putting. You all want to see the line first. So I would feel like your best putter should be always last. Your worst putter should be second. I think maybe your second best or third best putter should be first because then you can really see the line. If you have your worst putter on, it could really screw up everybody and they could not even show you the line at all, basically.
I agree. I mean, for me, I would go last. That's my favorite because no offense to the boys. But that is the strongest part of my game is putting and short game. As everyone knows, I've said it many times. I've had hip surgeries. I don't hit the ball far. So I'm not one to try to put one out there and bomb it. I am the old man golf, and I will put it straight. I will put it in the fairway, but it won't be 380 yards. It'll probably be 270. But the best part of my game is putting and short game. So all day I will go last. I will be the one to look at the line and do my own reads, and I will most likely sink a putt.
Yeah, I like my long irons and driver. That's my game Putting, I am mentally handicapped. And that's the nicest way I could put ever. Chipping or being in a bunker, I love being in a bunker. I know that sounds so weird for people, but I love playing those weird bunker shots and stuff like that because it's definitely a mental game in the sand. I think a lot of people go, "Oh man, I'm in the sand," like a negative thing. It's like, no, your ball's going to stop a lot easier if you get a lot of spin under it. So it's
Yeah.
always like fun to like try get it to stop dead right next to the hole or something like that. So it's definitely, I think, an art to be in the bunker. Don't you guys think so?
Oh, I'd have to agree. I mean, 100%. I do not mind at all when I'm in a bunker because I can spin the shit out of the ball. I can do what I want out of a bunker. And that's a thing. Like people, like I'll go golf with my brother. Shout out to Vance. He's going to be doing some stuff for us here. But he's like, "Oh, you're in the bunker," and I'm like, "Oh no, wow, that sucks." Yeah, no, it doesn't suck because
especially when I'm on like a par 5 and like you're like 230 to like 260 out. I'm like, "Oh, I'm hitting a 3-wood." They're like, "Yeah, but all the bunkers." I'm like, "Yeah, that's my stopper." Like I want it to go in there, unless it like rolls perfectly on the green. I'm happy, but I sort of do want to go in the bunker. I don't want to just roll off and go somewhere really, really random. I like it in the bunker once in a while because it'll roll in the bunker. It won't go deep into the bunker. And I'm happy with that shot.
yeah, no, 100%. As long as you're in a greenside bunker, there's a lot of stuff. As long as you are, so I'll be the first to say this, and it kind of sounds kind of narcissistic, and it kind of sounds kind of a little. I'm not going to say ableist. I just don't know the word for it. But if you were in the greenside bunker and you were below a 12 handicap, you should be a happy person.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as me, I'm 5.5 to 6 handicap, somewhere in that area. And if I'm in a greenside bunker on my second shot on a par 4 or a second shot on a par 5, I'm a happy camper because I'm like, shit, I'm going to be able to put this close and I'm going to spin the shit out of this ball.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times with me at Glen Mills on Friday, I was on, I think, 3 fairway bunkers and I was like still 60 yards out. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm going to hit this, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to just pick it. Well, I flew over the green or flew over this, or I hit it chunky, and then I only went 10 yards. And I'm like, God, can I just be goddamn close to the green for me?
Mhm.
Like, come on. I feel like fairway bunkers and then greenside bunkers are 2 complete different things.
Oh, they are 100%. I mean, I'm not sorry to cut you off there, Frank, but they really are 2 different animals. I mean, when you're looking at a greenside bunker, I mean, for me, I'm not opening the face up the full way. I mean, there's a lot of people who have the misconception that you have to open up the face the full way at a greenside bunker to get any kind of spin, and that's completely wrong. And I'm not saying that to be, an asshole or anything like that. But the thing is, you don't have to open up that face the whole way, and that's a misconception among low handicappers and high handicappers. You don't need to open up that face the whole way. I keep a face slanted, and I can still get a hell of a ton of spin on that ball on a greenside bunker, whereas the fairway, you're not even worrying about the face. You're just worrying about picking it. And the thing is, it's not all about the pick. It's about how you're striking it. And it's like the thing is in your head, you're thinking, I gotta come down, I gotta do this, I gotta pick it clean. When it's like in all reality, you don't need to do that. And that's like the crazy part about golf is like it's so inconsistent in some people's ways. Like some people you have to pick it great or you're bad out of a fairway bunker, where other people you can still hit sand obviously and you can hit it great. It's all up to the individual golfer how you pick that shot and how you hit that shot. And it's kind of crazy how it works, but the thing is it's your game, and no matter what works for you, that's what works for you. And that's the thing about golf that's crazy is it's like there's no correct way to per se hit a certain shot. And that's what I love about this game is it comes down to how you play the game. I mean, you look at Bubba Watson, you look at Matt Wolff, you look at all these different players and you say, wow, that swing looks like shit. But god damn, they kill the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but one thing I do disagree with you, I keep my face so open on my greenside bunker shots with my 58 degree. It's like I turn it into like a like 65 degree, my 58. And I have a 60, but I just don't feel comfortable with it in the bunker. In the rough, I feel great with it, but with my 58, it just has a really nice fat bottom, and I love it in the sand. I open the face so much with that. It's insanity. But yeah, like some people are like, oh no, I just keep it normal. And then there's like other people that are like, keep it open. I seriously think it's all about how you play the game. Like, do you like trying to pop it straight up? What do you like to do? Like, I think it's all a matter of how deep you go into the sand. Do you like, just like clipping it or this and that? I mean, and there's always those monsters of in the back of your head, hey, am I going to skull this? Am I going to do that? Am I going to go too deep with it? And I think if you're in the sand and you're practicing a lot, and I think that's one of the hardest things to practice is getting out of the sand on a greenside bunker. And I think that's why you see a lot of amateurs being just so scared of it, is because they just don't practice it enough. And I feel like a lot of more practice facilities are starting to realize that. And people are going to go to more of your practice facilities if you have a bunker, and they'll pay premium price for that because then they can practice out of a bunker all the time.
I have to agree. The thing is, there's, like you said, there's not a lot of practice facilities that have that. And I will shout out the place that made me the bunker player I am is Royal Manchester in Manchester, Pennsylvania. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's by York, Pennsylvania, where me and Jack went to college. I lived up there a little longer than Jack did, and that's the one place I went to. I used to live a mile from it, and they had a practice screen, and that's what made me the bunker player I am. Because, I mean, you can ask Jack and Frank. Every time I would ever go into the sand around a greenside bunker, they would look up, and I'd be, 5-10 feet from the pin?
Yeah.
And it's just because I practice so much out of the sand, and it's like, obviously I played high school golf. That's not a surprise to anyone. I've talked about it before, but I was never a great bunker player until after that, because there was not any practice facility where it's like, wow, I have a bunker here where I could just throw 20 balls down in the sand and say, I'm not leaving until I hit 10 good bunker shots. And that's exactly what I used to do. I would get to where, I would go after work and I would hit my range session, and then I go over to the short game area and I go, all right, I'm hitting 20 bunker shots, but I'm going to keep putting balls back in here until I get a ball within where I want and consistently. And that's like what I was saying too with Frank. He was saying he opens his face. I don't open my face completely, but it's all what works for you. And that's what golf is. Golf isn't a specific science. Like, yes, you want, the certain swing plane, but it doesn't come down to, oh, this is correct and this isn't. It comes down to what works for you. And that's what golf is. It's what works for you and what makes you the best at your game. And that is what's going to make the game the most fun for you. And so that's why it's hard trying to teach people like, oh yeah, you want to do this out of here. Cause it's like, well, this works for me. Yes. But for Frank, he likes opening the face more. And for Jack, he likes opening the face less. And for me, I like squaring the face up a little differently. So that's what's fun about golf is like, hey, yes, I do this. Frank does this. Jack does this. But you may do something completely differently. And that is what I find amazing about golf is that you can put 5 to 6 to 20 different golfers in a room, and they're all going to do something completely different, but they're all going to be on the same different wavelength. And that's what amazes me about this game. And that's why I love this game, is because there is no right way. Like, you look at baseball, you look at basketball, like, yes, there's a correct way to shoot a jump shot. There's a correct way to throw a fastball. Even bowling, there's a correct way to throw a certain, I don't know bowling, but whatever the hell it is.
Whatever. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for golf, everyone can do their own thing, but they can be great. Bubba Watson won a fucking Masters.
He has the ugliest swing in the.
I was going to say, his swing looks fucking dog shit, but the dude won a Masters. So obviously he's doing something right. So whatever works for you and you play to your strengths and you learn how to play to your strengths, that's what matters. And that's why I love this game, because there's no one on tour who is the exact same. Like, you can look at Tiger, you can look at Jake Knapp, you can look at Bubba, you can look at Matt Wolff, you can look at Keegan Bradley. No one's swing is the same, but they all accomplish what they want. And that is what I mean about this game.
Yeah, no, and to go back on I have been traumatized of childhood traumatized of hitting out of the bunker. So I don't really hit out. I try not to go in the bunker. I've gotten better with it, but every time I've hit in the bunker when I was younger, I would always get bitched at and yelled at. You shouldn't be doing that. You should take it out. Blah blah blah. So it's just like it's funny how I've developed as a golfer and how I have improved a lot better with my my bunker shots and things like that. I think the best thing about this podcast is that our goal is to play at these courses, make content and things like that. I think all of us, maybe next summer, Dylan, when we go to South Carolina, we got to play at the World Tour golf links. That course is legitimately one of the greatest courses I've ever played.
It's so fun.
It blows my mind. It quite literally blows my mind that, last week was June 20th, right? June 17th. And that was off season for South Carolina for golf. So everything was cheaper, right? So like playing at World Tour golf links, I think I paid $50 for me and my girlfriend. So it's
that's
just crazy.
Insanity price.
That's nuts.
Yeah, dude, it was it was crazy. And
insanity pricing.
It's one of those courses. It's one of those courses in Myrtle Beach that like, wow, these courses you can actually see that they've. So background: the World Tour Golf Links is 18-hole course that each hole is designed after a famous hole that's on PGA Tour and tournaments like the Masters. They have Amen's Corner. Whoever watches that. So they're
the 18 and the first hole is St. Andrews.
Exactly. So
it's so cool.
What this course is a conglomerate of all these random design courses from these famous tournaments that you can play on. And let me tell you, Amen's Corner, they got it. They hit the nail on the head. It looked exactly like Amen's Corner without the azaleas and shit like that. It looked exactly like it. Like it felt like you were at the Masters, and it was just so crazy. First off, Myrtle Beach is the golf capital of America, right? I went to the PGA Superstore. I spent a lot of money.
Did you buy a driver?
I know. You told me all about it on Saturday.
Yeah.
You wore your little new polo and you looked all sexy. I was like, damn, Jack. Okay, look at you. I mean, your swing's still dog shit. No,
Wait, did you buy a new driver though?
No,
he didn't get a new driver. He bought everything else except the driver.
I thought you were going to buy a driver.
No, I'm working on it though. I'm not sure which one I want.
Buy a new driver because I'm going to make him buy a new driver. But going back to what I was saying,
telling them this for how long?
Exactly.
I'm just messing with you, Jack. Your swing is unique. I may joke with you.
It's such a backhand compliment.
No, it's really not. It's really not. I promise you, it's not a dig. Your swing is unique, but guess what? It works for you. That's what I'm getting back to with golf.
Yeah,
your swing is so fucking different from mine and Frank's. My swing is so different from Frank's, but it works for you, and that's what I love about golf. Is it literally is an individual game. I mean, obviously, you're playing like I play high school golf. There's people who play college golf. Obviously, there's the Ryder Cup. There's this. There's that. There's the Live Tour now where they play. Vance, stop. I'm done with you. Get the hell out of here, Vance. Stop. What? No, I'm just kidding. But everyone's swing is so different, but it works for them, and that's what makes this game great. Is because there's no exactly right way to swing a club, and there's no wrong way. I mean, Jack, you have such a unique swing. And the first time I ever saw your swing, I said, what the fuck is that?
And it was funny.
But the ball went 320 yards off a drive, and I was like, oh, all right. That's awesome. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy. And people probably look at my swing and go, what the fuck is going on with this dude? But then the ball goes right down the middle of the fairway, and they're like, oh, cool. All right. Well, that works. it's golf, and that's what really makes me happy about this game. And it's one of it is my favorite game in the world, is the fact that everyone has a different way of swinging, and everyone figures out their strengths and their weaknesses. And it comes down to what the hell works for you and how can you perfect that.
Right.
And that's what I love the most. I mean, even Frank's swing. Frank, your swing, it drives me crazy in the fundamentals. But God, you smack the fucking ball. Crazy.
I'm actually going to get lessons in next week or two, because I got the yips on my driver right now.
I feel that.
I'm just like, you know what? I just need to go someone and just let them just figure it out, because my swing looks like right now it looks like a goddamn hockey slap shot. And I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. I just been doing everything that I've been doing, and it's just like, okay, I just need to figure out my swing right now. I don't know what's going on with it. So I'm going, I think sometime this weekend or next weekend, before I go to actually French Licks, so I just don't destroy my mental state playing French Licks, one of my favorite like bucket list courses, and I'm just shitting the bed the whole time. I just couldn't get off the tee box at all on Friday, that I was just like, you know what, like I need to just go to someone and just get coached up. Like,
yeah, like, I feel that, man. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you. I saw Vance's comment there where he goes, I have the yips with every club right now. That's what I was laughing at. So I'm sorry, Frank.
No. Trust me, dude. I was just so stuck. I was literally, I was just a mental case on Friday, and I couldn't stop laughing because my buddy was even laughing at me. Like, he was like, yo, what is going on? I was like, I have no idea. I was playing Army golf. I was going left, right on my driver. Usually I have a nice fade, but no, then I had a left hook, and then I was going far right. And then I was just like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm on there, and I just don't know where this ball's going now. To the point that I just pulled out my 5-iron and just hit a couple times just to get on the goddamn fairway.
You know what? I will agree with you there, because during my, travel escapades of what I was going on there, while I was in Minnesota, before I left for Minnesota for this wedding, I was striping the ball. I shot a 74. I was feeling great. I shot obviously 74, 4 over. I was like, man, I'm killing the ball. Oh my God, this is great. And then all of a sudden I come back after 2 weeks of being at this goddamn wedding, and I can't hit a ball. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on here? And that's going on I see Vance commenting here, my little brother. He's been out with a concussion for, God, almost 2 months now. It's going on. And yeah, I suppose he's probably, after hitting at a range, he probably wants to sell his clubs, because the man probably doesn't remember how to swing a golf club. It seems like me, after 2 weeks of not being able to swing a golf club, I am so confused. Every club I hit, I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
It always feels the worst. It always feels the worst. Like when you have the yips and you're on a course that you really like enjoy playing, and you're like, what is going on? Like, well, this isn't fun right now. Like, what's like, and then you get in that mental state, and it always comes back to that Arnold Palmer. Like, you need to get out of your own head. You just need to just walk up to that ball and just smack it. Like, and with my irons, I was completely confident with. And then whenever I went onto the tee box with my driver, I had like a million things going on in my mind. And I was just like, oh my God, dude, like I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Like, no.
Oh my God. I mean, going off of our most recent comment here, just swing it. 20 years off? God bless you. Yeah. I wouldn't even remember what golf is after 20 years. Oh my God. I'd probably have an aneurysm or something at that point, trying to swing a golf club again. Like, holy crap, I'm going off for 2 weeks. And just with my pitching wedge, I was like, holy shit, what the hell am I doing? So God bless you. 20 years off. I mean, that's awesome that you're getting back into it after 20 years, but holy crap, I wouldn't even know what the hell to do.
Yeah, no, that's one thing about golf. If you take any days off, your swing just isn't the same when you come back. Like, I mean, I've won in spurts where like I played for 10 years straight and then I stopped playing, and then played for another 5-6 years, stopped playing. But yeah, no, it's one of those sports that it's a muscle memory. You have to, you really, if you truly are going to play the sport of golf, you're gonna have to play like every other weekend or every week, because you could be playing very well like last weekend, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you don't play for a week, and then all of a sudden that really good shot, or that putting that you were killing goes down the drain. It's one of those sports that you have to constantly keep on playing and get better at. It's an evolving sport that everyone, it takes a lot of energy out of you, but I mean, you got to keep dedicated to the sport of golf.
And I agree. Like, I mean, in high school, obviously, I was a lot better in high school. I was close to, by the time I went to college and was in like the first year of college, I was close to a scratch golfer. And then I played college hockey. I don't know if I've ever said that on this podcast. I played college hockey, had a hip surgery. That completely changed my golf game, and that has thrown me off so much since then, because my swing speed is gone. I used to swing extra stiff shafts. I now swing regulars. I have no swing speed. I mean, we're looking at, like, I used to carry my driver close to 300 yards. Not a chance. I carry my driver like 230 to 240 at this point, and it's like it's a whole different game. And another thing I love about golf is you can play it till you're 80. You can play it till you can't. Honestly, I mean, I've played with randoms who I've met at the golf course who were 90 years old, and you're like, holy shit, dude, you're good at golf, And that's one thing I truly love about this game. But it's like, looking back on it, it's like, I wish I didn't play hockey in college because of the reason of, wow, I should have played golf. Looking back on it, it's like I wouldn't have had a hip surgery. I wouldn't be this decrepit if it wasn't for that. And, it kind of is like one of those things where it's like, holy crap, like, wow, I kind of had something and I let it go just because I was like, oh, and there's a whole stigma about golf.
How do you
hit the ball well? Don't ask us.
Yeah, how do you hit don't ask us. I mean, in all reality, man, I mean, I'll try to answer this as best as I can. How do you hit the ball well? You got to find your own way, man, and
hit it forward.
Yeah, hit it forward. I mean,
that's good for a beginner. Hit it forward. That's the best.
There's a way you do it. And it's all dependent on what works for you. And like I said that earlier in the podcast, and that's why I love this game, is because whatever you do, it comes down to what works for you. I mean, obviously what works for me may not work for Jack, and what works for Jack may not work for Frank, and what works for Frank doesn't work for my brother my brother Vance, and what works for me doesn't work for my fiance Caitlin. It's all dependent on what works for you, and that's going to be from you playing golf and you getting out there, going to the range, getting on the course. And that's what is great about this game, is because you're going to learn to love this game, and you're going to learn how to hit the ball well. And
Doherty, what was your favorite hole at World Tour?
I will say this, Amon's Corner.
It was
literally, like I said, minus the azaleas, it was picturesque. It was spot on. It was Amon's Corner. That was my favorite. It just is like, wow, this is like, I watched this on television, and I'm here right now. Like, I'm here, but I'm not, because
and then you're playing, like, if you play from the tips and then you actually hit it, and then you're like, oh, this is really hard. This is actually testing your knowledge of golf. It's testing everything. My other fun one was Sawgrass. When you walk up to that island green and you're like, dude, oh, it's that tiny. Like, it looks huge on TV. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, like, I never been like petrified to hit my pitching wedge.
No, dude, it was that. I will say that was one of the hardest holes on the course, because it was it looked like it was a small distance, right? And the green's not that big.
Like 35 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like one. It was like one. I think it was playing like 128 or 130, something like that. And no, it was challenging. Like that's why par threes like that, I hate, because it's like, okay, like I can, and even like an island green. I mean, like I said, that green was tiny, super
It's
tiny.
so
like,
tiny.
You
And if you hit it at
gotta
the wrong
imagine,
spot, it's going off.
right? And you got to imagine, like when you see that they're playing in front of 1,000 people that are in person on the course.
Oh, like more than that. This is like
you got to
$15,000.
the tension's high, so you got to be perfect on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, I'll go back to this right here. To hit the ball well.
Keep your head down.
One thing that I've told all my buddies that are just picking up. My one buddy Casey, shout out to Casey. He's been playing now for almost 2 years, and I pretty much taught him how to play, and he loves the sport. And that's the one thing I told him: keep your head down, and if you're using your driver, you're not trying to crush it. You're not trying to pull Scotty Scheffler. If you've seen Scotty Scheffler break his ankles, that's not what you want to do.
I mean,
seriously.
Look at that most recent comment. My dad has bought me some clubs that Scotty Scheffler uses. I still can't hit the ball does. Because guess what? You're never going to hit the ball like Scotty Scheffler does. And that's not a knock on you or anything like that. But Scotty has his swing. You're going to have your own swing. And that's what I've been harping on this whole episode, it seems like, is like everyone is going to have their own swing. And I'm going to be completely honest. If your dad bought you the same clubs that Scotty Scheffler uses, they're probably blades. And good luck hitting them because
good luck.
Yeah.
I don't even play them.
I used to play blades, don't get me wrong, but not anymore. They're hard as hell to hit. And I mean, shout out to Just Swing It, man. He was a tour pro. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. But I get that. Surgeries, injuries, man. I don't have kids yet. Frank can speak on that part, but
Get it, buddy. Trust me.
I could definitely get with the injuries and surgeries part, man. That definitely does set you back. Like I said, I was close to a scratch golfer, and now that after all these surgeries and injuries, I am not the same player, and it's crazy to see how it turns. And my buddies, especially my brother here, Vance, he's a liar with the blades, but he can tell you I played completely differently before I had my surgery and after. You know what? He's not that much of a liar because, believe it or not, he played blades a lot better than he played cavity backs, and I will say that one, which completely baffles me. But it's insane to see how different golfers hit different clubs. I mean, Scotty's swing, he's another one where I look at it and I go, how the hell does that work?
He's the number one golfer in the world.
Yeah, but it's like you look at his swing and you're like, you look at him after swings and the dude's almost falling over on his face, and you're like, how the hell is he like 3 feet from the hole? But you're like, holy shit, the dude can hit.
He's the best chipper I have ever seen next to Tiger. I mean,
his short game, minus his putting, because I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm sorry to say this, Scotty, I love you, but your putting is shit. But God, your short game, other than your putting,
I think his putting got a lot better. His putting, that new putter from TaylorMade, I think he got a lot better.
Yeah, once he switched to the mallet, that spider, yes, he has gotten a lot better. But still, his putting is shit compared to a lot of other tour golfers. But his chipping and his game is, inside of 60 yards is like amazing.
Another question, boys. So I got yelled at by my wife the other day. I was actually looking up Lightyear golf clubs. They're like little kids clubs, like for like 2 or 3 year olds. I was ready about to buy a bag. I was like this close. My son, mind you, is only 6 months old. Okay. I'm ready to go. Like I already bought him so much golf gear. For a 6-month-old, it's insanity. Like I have already a little Titleist hat for him when he's a little older that he could wear. So like where I'm at is like I'm ready to get him. I'm already walking him on courses. Like whenever I get a chance and he's like if I'm practicing hitting at a range, I'm walking him around the course at the range that I'm at just to like have him look around, see it, and he enjoys it too. He loves the sound of people hitting the driver, and I think it's so funny when a 6-month-old is laughing at someone's swing when they hit the driver. He'll start giggling, and then you'll see the people feel weird because they feel like they're being judged by a 6-month-year-old. But it's just like so funny to have it. But I mean, I love that I'm introducing the game to him younger. But my wife was like yelling at me. She's like, we are not buying $300 sets for a 6-month-old that won't be able to play it in like a year.
So about my opinion on that, I think you gotta, if you want your son to play golf, you gotta let him kind of experience, him walking on the course, just being in the golf cart, things like that. Show him the ropes on how golf is played. And then if he gets old enough and he's like, I'm not feeling it, you can't really force him into like wanting to play golf, because
that's where I'm at.
One thing that I will say, I've listened to multiple podcasts. My God, who the father and son duo that are caddies on the tour? I think one was Tiger's caddy for a long time.
No, he had Joey LaCava and Fluff, I think his name was.
Yeah, so my opinion, Joey LaCava and Joey LaCava Jr., because Joey LaCava Jr. is a caddy on tour right now.
Yeah. I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, so he had or Foreplay had them on the podcast kind of interviewing them, and they're like, yeah, like we didn't force Junior to like hop on the course when he wanted to. We just kind of showed him the ropes, and we're like, okay, if you want to play, like let us know. And then he became a caddy just like his father. So I think still giving the dose of like being outside and showing him what the golf course is, and then kind of showing him like when he gets older, that this is the golf etiquette that you need to, carry yourself with when you're on the golf course. So I think right now he probably won't remember it. I wouldn't say buy the clubs yet, but still bring him out and show him like what the golf course is like. And
my dad started showing me like golf like at like 8 or 9, but he just took me to like a little par 3 course, just showed me the ropes, like how to like read a green, how to like properly dress for golf. I think that's a huge thing. Also I think it's like don't walk into someone's line, like how to properly like put your clubs away, stuff like that. And it's like he always says, if you love the course loves you back, kind of thing. So always repair your divots. A lot of like new golfers, they don't understand like, hey, you should always fix your divots or your hole markers. I think that's always a huge thing. I feel like if you love the course will always love you back. Karma can be a real big bitch at the golf course. But all that aside, I just think with him, I do want my son to be a caddy. I'm not going to force him into it. And I see a lot of people trying to force their kids into sports that they played. But I feel like when I do start getting my son in it, I'm only playing 9 holes, because if they're still having fun, I think that's the perfect time to end it at like 9 holes if they're still having fun, because they'll want to play more. You can't put 18 with like a 9 or 10-year-old. You know what I mean? And let them like travel around, play around like with the crick. Let them throw rocks in the crick. Who cares? Let them play with their old clubs and just dig around a little bit. Make sure they don't damage the course, of course. But like, you know what I mean? You want them to sort of just enjoy it and just enjoy like that dad and son or daughter time. It's just going to be really cool. And then of course I was watching this actually one Instagram reel, and they're like, and after every round, make sure like you take them out on like, and get them some ice cream or something like that, just to remind them like, hey, like this is what golf is. And when you hit, 21, maybe even younger, you could just probably enjoy a beer after or something like that and just enjoy the game.
Oh, I agree. I mean, so like I am the first, golfer in my family who I fell in love with golf just because of watching Tiger Woods. My father wasn't a golfer. Neither of my grandfathers were golfers. But just the sports that I played growing up, obviously I was a baseball player, football, basketball. And it was just like the healthy ways of showing me the love for these sports. Like I still am one to sit there and watch a baseball game And like we were just in Minnesota, me and Caitlin, for our friend's wedding, and it was really cool because they didn't have like a normal rehearsal dinner. They took us to a Minnesota Twins game, and Caitlin's like, "Oh, I want to go see the stadium," and I'm like, "I'm trying to watch baseball," and it's like I just love the game of baseball because my dad grew up playing baseball, showed me baseball, and showed me in a healthy way where it's like I love this sport,
Right.
Where it's like you don't want your kid to hate the sport. And
Exactly.
it's like if you try to stuff it down their throats, that's when they're like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm going to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was the thing. It's like, my family, they never stifled me with like, oh, you need to do this. You need to play football. You need to play baseball. You need to play basketball. You need to play golf. They were just like, we're going to show you these things. And whatever you enjoy is what we want you to enjoy, and it ended up being, my favorite sport is golf. And, my family, whether or not they played it before, they supported it. And that is what the biggest thing comes down to, is what you support as a parent, as a father, as a mother, as whatever you are, an uncle, a godfather. If you support that person and they're like, hey, I love this, you're going to be like, wow, you love this. Hell yeah, let's go do it. I can't tell you how many times my father brought me to, baseball games. Me and my family, we're season ticket holders for the Eagles. I am in love with the Eagles. You guys can probably see from my background here. I am in love with the Eagles. We're season ticket holders. I have been going to Eagles games since before I can remember. There's pictures of me at the vet. There's pictures of me at the link before I could even probably shit by myself, or before I was shitting in diapers. Just because I was showing the Eagles in a healthy way. And, I love the Eagles every single day. And, it's a healthy way of showing your kid, hey, this is something that we love. It's something that you love. It's something that we all love. And that's, showing it in a healthy way without jamming it down their throats is what it comes down to.
Yeah. And like, I think the funniest thing is like, just from that comment, like I do see a lot of people freak out and stuff like that, but it's really not that deep, dude. You're not losing that much money.
No.
These pros, they are on like the stress-filled making, first place is like what, like sometimes $4 million. Second place is only one, and then it keeps going down, 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 down. Some of these guys aren't getting paid if they don't play good. So you got to remember that. But also, they're also walking into a private jet after this tournament sometimes.
Yeah, Rory, don't be breaking team markers. You make money from Nike, bro, and TaylorMade.
You got to also remember you're there for fun. You're there for, and I always say this, like, yeah, it's great to like shoot low and play really good or whatever, but it's usually a lot of times like it's awesome to play with your buddies and just having a good time and just shooting the shit and just having a conversation with each other and just laughing. You always have good times. I like sometimes going out with a twosome because then you get matched with like two random guys. I know the first time we went out, guys, we met, I think it was Nick, right?
Nick, dude, he's the goat. I hope he's watching tonight, dude. Nick's
I was in the cart with him, and him and I were just shooting the shit, just talking where we were from, just talking just about everything. And he was just like very welcoming, happy. And he's like, yo, I'm not that good. And I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. I mean, he was like, yo, I'm a 16 handicap. And we're like, dude, we do not care what you are. Like, we're going to have fun no matter what. And I feel like that really relieves a lot of guys that you're playing with when you're like, dude, I don't care what you shoot. Just have a good time. Like, this is what you're paying for. You're paying to play, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people really think that, oh my God, my cousins, I'm not going to mention names, but they think that their handicap is everything. Oh, we need to like, I'm so good as a golfer, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, handicap doesn't mean anything because you can have you could be a +1 handicap, right? You could be playing great golf and then all of a sudden you shoot like a 90 and you lose to like a 6 handicap. Golf is a sport where, okay, your handicap is like, maybe it's for bragging rights, but like in reality, when you play somebody, when you play against somebody or just play in general, you're not always shooting 70. You're not always shooting a 65. Like your handicap is not your name. Your handicap doesn't mean anything at that time. I mean, I played with golfers who I'm a 9 handicap right now. I've beaten golfers with, a 4 handicap. It just depending on how I played that
Yeah,
day.
my
Like,
buddy who's a +1 handicap, he shot at 81 the other day, and it was like so funny to watch him. I was like waiting for like anger or anything like that, and him and I were just talking and bullshitting and laughing the whole time. And he's like, after the 18th hole, he goes, "Well, that was rough." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you shot an 81. I don't feel bad for you in a way, like, but like at the same time, I shot a 91 or 92, one of the two, and I was like, man, yeah." And he was like, "Dude, this is how you got to play it, because some days I could be shooting a 69, and then the next day I could be shooting, a high 80." And he just laughed about it. And I'm like, damn, I got to be more like that. I got to be, because I got in my head so badly midway that he actually stopped me. He was like, "Dude, you're thinking way too much. Just hit the goddamn ball and have fun. We're drinking beer and being outside." And I did play a lot better.
and
after
that's the
that.
thing.
And I was like, you know what? You're right. I got to stop thinking.
My mom has been playing golf for her whole life, and she's a head case, so she's a really good golfer. But like when she is, by a water hazard or out of bounds, there's a hole at my home course, hole 3, and it's a short par 4 down a hill, and there's a little pond that's down towards the end of the hill, and then the green uphill, right? I can guarantee you every time she puts it down there, she always hits her ball in the water because she thinks about it way too much and then she puts it in the water. Whereas I think going back to the scramble format, I prefer to go first because my mentality on the golf course is grip it and rip it. Because if I don't think about my shot or don't think at all when I'm on the golf course doing my shots and my putts, I play a lot better than thinking, well, there's a water hazard on the left, there's a water hazard on the right. Like I got to make sure I just grip it and rip it, and it usually goes straight down the middle of the fairway. So like that's where I kind of, when I'm on the golf course, that's my kind of peace and quiet. I get very, and people know this of me. When I'm on the golf course, do not talk to me at all because I just think about I'm just zoned in. I'm not thinking about my shots. I'm just zoned in on the golf course, and I'm at like a safe place where I can just kind of relax and chill.
I think that's like the number one thing that people that don't golf don't realize, because the outside world of golf, like you're thinking about work, you're thinking about a kid, you're thinking about wedding stuff, you're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, you're thinking about a million things. And golf's so simple. You're just thinking about your next shot. And it's just so simple, and it's just an easy fix, and it's fun. It's just like, okay, this is an easy fix. You just got to hit it there. Oh, you did a mistake. Okay, let's just recourse that. And it's not overthinking. It's just, it's just something. There's a problem right in front of you. It will never last more than 10 seconds when you're standing over the ball. And if you last more than 10 seconds standing there, you need to hurry up your play. But other than that, it's just so mindless, and it's kind of nice to get away from the outside world. It's just everything just drops, and you're just on the course with your boys, drinking a beer, talking to each other, and golfing.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think of when I go play golf is Jack falling down when we went and played 8. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, like, you guys could even, I mean, these guys can attest. Even, obviously, like I said, I'm a 5 to 6 handicap, somewhere in between there.
I'm a 10 to 12. I'm happy with that.
Like, even when I play like absolute dog shit, I mean, especially Jack can tell you, I'll literally hit a bad shot and I'll just start cracking up. And I'm just like, wow. Nice. All right. Well, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? It's like you can't do anything about it because, some days you have it and some days you don't. And it is what it is. It comes down to whether you have it that day. And, some days you do. Like one day, a couple weeks ago, I shot a 74. And then I came out today and I shot probably 7 over through 9. And I was like, well, I play like shit today. What are you going to do? And it's just like, it comes down to, the same thing of, oh, well, I have it or I don't. And it's just like, well, when it comes down to it,
you just feel like you have it, and some days you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, and then sometimes you'll just get on, like, you'll play like shit, or you'll play really good at like the first 9, and then the back 9 you're shooting like horrible, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Maybe it was the tequila transfusions, but hey, I'm not judging.
Hey, leave my tequila transfusions out of this, Frank. Just because I like tequila doesn't mean you get to talk shit.
Hey, I love the transfusions. I mean, I hate Josh Allen that he introduced that to me on Bob Does Sports, and then when I tried it, I was like, oh, this game is over for me. Like, I am not playing well at all for the next couple rounds that I play. So
yeah, I'm so mad that he brought them into the mainstream, because that was my thing. And I'm gonna
I did not even think about doing that.
Yeah, so Josh Allen, I'm gonna talk straight to you for a second. Fuck you. Because you brought my secret weapon into the mainstream, and I'm very mad about that. And it's not just because I'm an Eagles fan, but go Birds. But that's fucked up, man. Those are my secret weapon. Tequila transfusions are mine, and they'll never be yours.
And I hate that because I'm weird. I write with my left, and I always grab my cup with my left. So whenever I play Buffalo with my buddies, I always get buffaloed. So it really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun game to play when you're on the golf course and also at a wedding.
Oh yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah, it is.
I did that at a wedding like a couple of weeks. Oh, it was like probably about a year and a half ago. We played that. Oh my god, we got tossed.
Yeah, you feel like you're like 21 all over again when you play that game. You're like, why did we agree to this game?
It's like you're having a good time, and then all of a sudden, Buffalo. Fuck.
Yeah. Or like you have someone, you see like something in their hand, you'd be like, yo, hold this for me, and they put it in their hand, and you're like, Buffalo, and you're like, dude, no, like, come on.
So my this is a little sneaky. I say I hold my cup lefty, but in reality, I'm a righty, so they can't. When it's in my right hand, they can't buffalo me. So you gotta play the system.
Yeah, I always drink from my left hand. I never drink from my right. It's weird. I only write with my hand and literally drink with my hand and use a fork with my left hand. Everything else, I'm right-handed. It's so weird.
I'm ambidextrous, so I get away with all of it. There is no buffalo. There is no nothing. Because guess what? I don't got a dominant hand. What you gonna say? You want me to sign my name with my left hand? Go ahead, dickhead. Show me that shit. I'll sign it. You want me to do it with my right hand? Go ahead. Come on, give me that, John. What you gonna do?
But the crazy thing is just like golf in general, dude. It's just like it's kind of crazy because I was actually talking to my buddy the other day, and his brother-in-law joined a country club that I really wanted to join before COVID and everything. I was like, that's my number one, country club that I want to join. And I was talking to him. I was like, when you joined it, he's like, yeah. I was like, how much was it? It was like $2,000 to join. And then it was like $300 like a month. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, it's $25,000 now to join this country club. I was like, okay, where did they come up with $25,000 now? How was it $2,000 before? And now it came to, 10 times more than it is today. Like, I love that the game's growing, but I really feel like it's starting to become that crazy factor again of golf is for the wealth. And that's what I'm like sort of scared about with golf. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I agree. I mean, and so I had this conversation with my fiance because I was frustrated the one day. Obviously, I went out for 18, after I got done work one day early. I got done work at I finished a job at like maybe 10:30, 11, got out and played golf. I didn't get home till 6 p.m. because there's so many people on the course. And it's like before COVID,
you can play whenever.
Yeah, you had these courses that were begging you to come out. They were begging you to come out and play. They're like, please, like $20 a round. Come on out.
Yeah.
It's like
Glenn Mills, it took me 5 hours and 45 minutes because every single shot we had to take was a 30-minute wait.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. It was horrible. And it was a Friday afternoon. It was like 12 o'clock on a Friday. I was sick.
It's insane. It's just like, and it's literally, it's COVID brought, like, and it's funny because my two favorite things to do in the world are go fishing or to play golf. And I was telling my fiance, I'm like, both of those are ruined because of COVID. Because during COVID, everyone either went fishing or went golfing because you didn't have to interact with other fucking people. And it pisses me off so much because fishing is like ruined now because every spot you had, you go down there after like, you go down there after a day of work where it was like 5 or 6 and nobody would be down there. And it's like, you just go cast a few lines, catch a few bass, and go home. You're a happy camper. Now you go down there and there's like 7 different people, and they're like, howdy, partner. It's like, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to fish. Yeah. Or it's like the same thing with golf, where it's like, hey, I booked as a single at like 4:30 because I got done working a decent time. I just want to come out and play 9. Now you got a full foursome. Yeah. And it's like, oh, wow. Okay. Cool. Like, I just wanted to work on my swing, but I guess now I can't, because I have a full foursome. And it's like, I'm not mad because it's like, it's growing the sport, but it's like, it kind of sucks in a sense where it's like, wow, I used to be able to go out and do all this crap, but now I can't.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say this. I feel like before COVID, right? Golf was kind of on the downhill spiral. Courses were closing up. People were not getting, involved in playing golf. And then COVID happened. It kind of brought it back up, and which is great and all. But at the same time, now that, COVID's over, more and more people from that COVID wave are playing golf now consistently, and just causing, because, they're not good golfers at all. So they still take time to, because typically one hole should take you like 15 minutes. You're waiting for it. People are taking like 20 to 25 minutes to play one hole. And that's just the influx of people just blows my mind. I love it because more and more people are golfing and getting out there. But at the same time, I hate it because now me, who's been playing for, call it 24 years, I have to wait behind people and deal with them. So it's kind of, it's a good and the bad. Yeah. But yeah, I will say, back to your question, Frank. I think golf has always been that rich man sport. Set is $1,800 to $2,000 to maybe $4,000, and going to getting a golf shirt, getting any kind of swag at a golf pro shop, you're dropping, like you said, a lot of freaking money. You're dropping $75 on a shirt here, quarter zip here. So yeah, I think it is a rich man sport.
But I think they're starting to get crazy with the pricing on country clubs. They were begging for people to come, like nonstop begging. I remember when I started looking at joining a country club back in 2019, there was country clubs like literally calling me every single day. And they're like, dude, we get you in right away. Don't worry about it. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, let me do this. And then COVID happened. So I was like, okay, let me wait this out because you didn't know what was happening. And then after COVID, I was like, okay, I'm going to move. I just got married, so I'm saving money, so I can't join a country club yet. And then right when I was like, okay, I'm ready to join a country club, I'm ready to do this, they're like, yeah, $25,000. I was like, when did this happen? How did this happen?
No, it's insane. And it's like, I lucked out because like I purchased the not the full membership at the course that's right by me, but I pay like $79 a month, and then I get weekend rounds for like $40 and weekday rounds for $30, and and range balls for free.
Yeah.
And it works out nice because like the normal price for playing the Rock where I took you guys is like 90 something bucks. So it's like you play more than once a month, you make your money back.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like it works out in that sense. But like, just to go off of just swing it, prices have gone insane. I mean, if I didn't have
I think I went a little crazy. I think they know that they're being a little crazy right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the lab putters 500. I mean,
I remember when there were 2.
Yeah, I have a lab putter.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah, $499.99 was a little rough, but yeah, credit card. I'm just kidding. But no, like the only reason I got the elite driver is because I had a fucking club to trade in, so I could only pay like $275 for the elite putter, and like shout out, I won the fucking irons I have. So I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's growing, but yeah, things definitely more expensive than it should have been in the past. I got nothing else. Do you guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I'm good right now. That was my little rant.
No, I've gone on my little rants today. I feel pretty good, man.
Yeah, no, I think I think the three of us will get back on the course hopefully
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
And then we're
I'll be
from 302 Birds to play with us, and then we'll see how low we can go, and then we'll start inviting people from all social medias, all different golf social medias, and inviting them to go out, and then hopefully we could do maybe a little golf trip with all the social media people that we're already becoming cool with, that we've been messaging nonstop. Maybe we could get a trip together, go to maybe the Birdie House in Pinehurst. I know you guys saw that conversation that I had with them. Pretty interesting conversation that we had there. So we just need to get all the guys together and figure this out, and then maybe we could have a huge podcast for last weekend's beer with that who we all talked to from the social media aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're talking about that. I know we already had some plans on some big fun stuff this fall up in Western Pennsylvania. So, I mean, obviously the viewers will see that. Hopefully sometime September, October, we'll be doing some fun from out that way. And then obviously going out with some of our social media friends to some more exotic places.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow us everywhere at Weekends the Last Beer. That is Weekends the Last Beer on Instagram, Spotify, TikTok,
YouTube, yeah, all the fun ones.
Please follow and subscribe. Without further ado, play 18. Don't care what she says. Have a good night, boys.
See you guys.